The bulletin. The President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, on Tuesday, received in audience the First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Her Excellency Fatima Jabi Bio, at the State House in Banjul. Mrs. Bio is in the Gambia for official engagements and met President Barrow to discuss issues affecting the Sierra Leonean community in the Gambia, who are estimated to numbers between 20 to 30,000. Mamadou Jallo has the rest of that story.
Fatima Jabi Bio, First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, wrapped up her engagements in the Gambia with a courtesy call on the President, His Excellency Adama Barrow. During closed-door talks with the Gambian leader, Mrs. Bio raised the issue of the Sierra Leonean community, particularly their access to university education, appealing to government to allow Sierra Leonean students studying in Gambian universities pay the same fees as local students.
Before now, when Gambians were going to Sierra Leone in Fobe College, they were paying the same fee as Sierra Leoneans. They never paid as foreigners. So we are hoping that Gambia will do the same for Sierra Leoneans now and allow them to pay as just as the Gambians are paying, rather than making them pay as foreign students. So that's one of the reasons why we came to present that case. And His Excellency said they've already started talking about it in Cabinet. So it's a government position. We're going to wait and hope that the government will look into this issue ASAP for us.
With nearly 20 to 30,000 Sierra Leoneans living in the Gambia, Mrs. Bio believes it would significantly improve their welfare in the country. She commended President Barrow for granting her request the last time she was here, when she directly appealed to him to exempt Sierra Leoneans from paying resident fees in the Gambia.
The Sierra Leoneans are extremely pleased that now they don't have to pay that huge amount of money just to live here. Now they're paying what they are able to afford. So every Sierra Leonean now have a residential permit and they are not being chased around by immigration anymore. So we hope that this one also will be looked into, where Sierra Leoneans will be given the opportunity to empower themselves with the most needed education that they need, since they are all living here and they've lived here for too long.
She thanked President Barrow for receiving her at the State House, adding that as a Gambian, she was proud to identify with both countries. Mamadou Jallo, GRTS.
The Finance and Public Accounts Committee of the National Assembly convened its annual briefing session with ministries, public enterprises, and agencies. The session was graced by His Excellency the Vice President, Aliu Badara Diouf, ministers, and other heads of departments and agencies. Rohibite reports.
In favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
They gathered for the annual briefing session of the Finance and Public Accounts Committee of the 6th Legislature of the National Assembly. The briefing also graced by His Excellency the Vice President, Dr. Aliu Badara Diouf, and other ministers is aimed at highlighting the action of the FPAC Committee in relation to their operations and oversight function over the public institutions. Established by Section 1091B of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, with mandate from Orders 81, 97, and 112 of the revised standing orders of the National Assembly, the Finance and Public Accounts Committee, according to its chairperson, Honorable Alaji S. Dabo, is entrusted to identify, monitor, and examine public institutions.
Select Committee shall continue to perform their oversight role on ministries, departments, and agencies, and are at liberty to request any document or summon or conduct any oversight visits on institutions within their remit.
Honorable Dabo took them through the functions of the committee in its effort to scrutinize public institutions.
Thus, moving forward, the sitting procedures of the committee shall be as follows. 1. Engagement with the Finance and Public Accounts Committee takes precedence over all other engagements. Thus, once an officer or institution is summoned to appear before the committee and give excuses for not appearing without a prior authority from the chairperson, he or she or they will be in contempt of committee and will, in consequence, be subject to a sanction, nature of which will be determined by the committee.
Now that the PAC-PEC committee has been divided to FPAC and PEC committees respectively, representatives of various government departments and agencies were made to understand which agencies and departments fall under the separate committees. This was followed by question and answers as ministers and other officials tried to clarify certain observations.
I think it's important that we visit some of these acts and see where you seriously ministers are there.
And where ministers will be reporting, as you indicated, that's for the plenary, that also would be communicated. Now, this time around, the schedule that we have prepared is concerning the institution and then the agencies.
We've seen institutions not being cooperative with the auditors. They will make queries, and it takes you 7, 8 to 10 months, or sometimes 1 year to respond to those queries. We cannot accept that. However, we are aware that we may have some issues getting auditors to audit accounts, but we must also remember one thing. The preparations of the accounts is the responsibility of the institution, not the auditor.
Those that were not able to attend Tuesday's briefing are expected to join the subsequent one. Rohi Bitey, GRTS.
Meanwhile, the World Bank Group has launched the Gambia's 2020 Economic Update. The document provides an insight on economic developments and challenges facing the Gambia. The forum held in Bijilo was meant for stakeholders to dialogue about current economic and structural challenges facing the country. Yolo Jallo has the rest of that story.
The forum held at the Caraba International Conference Center was meant to give an opportunity for public dialogue about the Gambia's current economic and structural challenges. In his opening remarks, Sidi Keita, Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, said government is ready to implement reform based on the finding of the World Bank's report and count on the continued support of the bank group and other development partners to achieve this. He said public debt increases slightly, but they will continue to consolidate and manage their debt portfolio while providing infrastructural financing in medium and long term.
Domestic resources mobilized in 2021 declined compared to that of 2020. To that effect, we have embarked on a series of reforms to improve the tax administration and streamline tax expenditure. This includes the establishment of a tax policy unit within the Directorate of Economic Policy and Research, under which a comprehensive tax policy for the country will be developed. The government is doing all it can amid all the challenges to continue to subsidize certain vital sectors such as fuel, even though it is a very big pressure on the budget.
Minister Keita further stated that Russia-Ukraine invasion is now being felt domestically as Russia and Ukraine are global players in the supply of basic commodities such as oil, gas, and maize, as these are highly consumed in the Gambia. He revealed that government will continue to make health, education, and social safety their top priorities. Nathan M. Belletti, World Bank Country Director, said the report expands analytics beyond micro-poverty update and shares policy suggestions on addressing structural challenges that can help the country.
Gambia looks set for modest growth in the medium term, driven by a rebound in tourism, weather-related risks to agriculture, and the rising costs of living globally, exacerbated by the war in Ukraine, could slow this recovery. Although its direct investment and tourism and trade links with Russia and Ukraine are limited, the Gambia is a net importer of food, fertilizer, and fuel. As a result, widening current account deficit, rising inflation, particularly food inflation, eroding household incomes, and high fiscal deficits leading to domestic borrowing could threaten the sustainability and the recovery and hinder poverty reduction.
He added that the report also stresses that evidence-based data-driven policy making will be key to raising sustainable long-term growth potential economy. The World Bank country boss said the Gambia performs better initially than similar in tourism-dependent periods thanks to remittance and agricultural growth. He continued that fiscal and current account deficit has begun to widen in 2021, adding that fiscal policy reforms are needed to build fiscal space to respond to future shocks. Several other speakers at the forum, including Minister of Tourism and Culture, Honorable Ahmad Bah, said government needs to improve its spending efficiently, including its investment in social protection, education, and health, and that human capital will be key to sustain growth. For GRTS News, this is Yero Jallo reporting.
Away from that, the Department of Planning under the Ministry of Agriculture reviewed the Gambia's performance in the 3rd Comprehensive Africa Agricultural Development Program. The Regional Agricultural Program, established under the Malabo Declaration, is aimed at reducing poverty as well as increase food security on the continent. We have more details of that story by Baba Silla.
Review report is the main mutual accountability tool to track the progress of the African Union member states in implementing the Malabo Declaration of 2014, focusing on agricultural growth and poverty reduction based on its 7 commitments. During the day-long convergence official, we present and brainstorm on CADEP process, biennial review, the country's 3rd biennial report, as well as roadmap for the 4th biennial report. The convergence attracted different stakeholders aimed at charting a way forward for the report. Francis Mendy, Director of Planning at the Ministry of Agriculture, delivered a welcoming remark describing data as a relevant guideline in the successful implementation of institutional policy.
The CADEP review process that we are going to witness today, based on the Gambia's performance, is very significant for the simple reason that actually all the stakeholders who have been invited in this meeting today, they have a hand in one way or the other in providing secondary data for inputting into the indicators that have been identified at the CADEP processes to be able to get us the determinants on the performance of the Gambia as far as this process is concerned.
Fatma Siawa, ECOWAP CADEP M&E Program Officer, delivered her keynote remark through video call and appeal for joint collaboration to make the report successful.
This is one of the first block of actions we agreed on after the 3rd biennial report was launched in March this year, that each country should go back and present their reports to the key stakeholders, key actors, and look at it together, applaud themselves for the effort made, but also see where the gaps are and find out how concertedly we can work together to make progress, not only in seeing the country reaching the target, but also ensuring that it has an impact on the population.
Mamadou Sow is the outgoing CADEP focal person. He explained the importance of the report and the way forward after the presentation of the report.
Okay, unfortunately, we are not on track as far as this report is concerned, but also, in the whole of Africa, it's only Rwanda that is on track of meeting the Malabo targets of 2025. From 2019 to 2021, we have improved a 12 percentage point, and we are progressing well. We're hoping that by 2025, we should be on track in meeting the Malabo targets of 2025.
The Gambia, as a signatory to the declaration, has submitted its 3rd report to the African Union through the Regional Economic Community, REC. The report consisted of data collection and collation of 47 indicators that measures economic progress, poverty reduction, agricultural growth, trade facilitation, resilience, food safety, government expenditure, and mutual responsibility. Bawasila, GRTS.
The Gambia Immigration Department held a day's training for over a dozen senior officers on diplomatic ethic and protocol. This is part of the institution's effort to ensure professionalism. Aissatou Keita has more on that.
A highly professional and competent staff for effective management on immigration matters. And this is cognizant of the increasing global interdependency, which is becoming a more complex socio-economic milieu, given the human need to migrate for services and business activities. This cohort of trainees are made of seasoned and career immigration officers most of whom have experienced other international trainings or UN missions.
This is the point with ensuring professionalism at the core of service delivery. The participants are senior officials of the Immigration Department whose work stretches to certain levels of diplomatic standards. Diplomatic etiquettes and protocol practices becomes key in service delivery.
Upon the completion of this training, the staff members of the Gambia Immigration Department are expected to be able to understand the art of corporate, professional, and comportment protocol. They will be able to master fully the art of self-assurance and to reduce the stress and anxiety when dealing with dignitaries.
This training will not only cover the ceremonial rules that are followed during official functions and how to behave on these special occasions, but also provides a set of established rules of courteousness that are to be respected in society, hence introducing participants to the ceremonial aspect of protocol procedures, behavior of etiquette, rules of courteousness in society. The Gambia Immigration Department is also running another training which is also focusing on documentation and other relevant issues. The German Federal Police is a key partner of GID, helping to improve standards and build capacity gaps for some level officers.
Our power ends at the borders, and so we have to find a way to cooperate internationally and transfer skills and experiences we do and we collected during our times of work, and share with our colleagues and partners. And this is one of the reasons why Germany is, and the Federal Police of Germany is very happy that we can use this fancy facilities here and find very good cooperation by the operators of a training school and transfer this kind of knowledge, build up trust and cooperation.
This is part of a series of programs being bankrolled as a government agency responsible for the facilitation, controlling and monitoring of movements into, within and outside the Gambia. It is increasing efforts to bridge capacity gaps to ensure effective delivery of service. For JRT's News, this is Aissatou Keita.
Preserving cultural identity, the Igbo community in the Gambia recently observed a cultural night to reflect on their origin, predominantly found in eastern Nigeria. The Igbos, also called the Imolites, are proud custodians of tradition, which they say is anchored on respect, hard work, and discipline. Louis Mendy has more on that.
A night of culture demonstrated to the fullest by the Igbo community in the Gambia. These customs and traditions include the Igbo people's visual art, music and dance form, as well as their attire, cuisine, and language dialect. Onyema is a governor, Imo State indigenous in the Gambia.
Our major goal is to ensure the unity and solidarity of Imolites in the Gambia, upon which is based our well-being, dignity, and integrity. One major landmark in this area is the acceleration of efforts in bringing our people together under a social-cultural umbrella based on the norms and values that bind us together as a people.
Proud custodians of tradition, the Igbo take their culture with them everywhere they go, and here in the Gambia, they are proud to showcase it once again. Francis is one of the elders of the tribe.
We have people all over the world. If you go to China, occasions like this happen. If you go to America, occasions like this happen. Wherever we travel to, we travel with our culture.
In the Igbo tribe, kola nut has a special place. It symbolizes peace, unity and reconciliation, integrity, fraternity, hospitality, goodwill, and kindness. And in this occasion, it was shared to serve the purpose.
We give a lot of respect to the kola nut. We use kola nut to bless people. We use kola nut anywhere you go in Igbo land. If you are giving kola nut, that means a door is opened unto you to enter. It's a kind of welcome. If you go to somebody's house and he hasn't welcomed you, he wouldn't give you kola.
For these people, marriage is an institution and building communal life is a belief deeply rooted in them. Mrs. Francis Akbakweru is the wife to Mr. Francis.
Today I'm an Imola because I am married to an Imo man. So I am so happy being with them. They are so unique, so lovely, and they're caring.
The Igbos are also industrious. Chief Dr. Sunday Ide is the chairman of the occasion.
Here in the Gambia, I know so many of them that engage different legitimate businesses and handworks. And there are people to reckon with.
The traditional Igbo religion includes belief in a creator called Chuku or Chineke, as well as a belief in ancestors who protects their descendants.
National Computer Security and Incident Response Team, in partnership with the Gambia National Commission for UNESCO, began their week-long National Cybersecurity Awareness Campaign for students. The Gambia Senior Secondary School was the first to be visited, as Seidamu Jain reports.
Extensively uses digital technologies as life transactions have been moved online. Hence, this awareness-raising forum is timely for students and youths to guide their positive usage of digital devices. Sanusi Drame, Principal ICT Officer at Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. His office got approval for the cybersecurity funding in 2021 in order to implement this youth-friendly project.
Security is the protection of data. If I'm to say data that you use on your mobile phones, on your computers, on your laptops, when you use the internet, those are data. Even your WhatsApp messages are data. Your content, your photographs are data. Images, they are all data. How do you protect it? And now on the systems that those data also reside on, like the laptops, the computers, and all the network systems that transmit that data to protect that.
Selim Moduba, Principal ICT Officer, Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, dilated on the importance of guiding next generation of leaders on the judicious use of ICT.
Into what online child abuse is, I would love to at least recap a bit when it comes to what is cyber or cyberspace. Cyber in the sense that it is a space of interconnectedness, a space of internet, a space of application technology that is connecting us as individual, and also that is connecting us with the environment so that we can communicate, we can make business transactions, we can also learn, we can do health practices and the like. So there are positive impact of the cyberspace in many different ways, but also there is the dark side of cyberspace.
As implementing partners, Lamin Jaju, a Senior Program Officer, UNESCO NATCOM, highlighted on the partnership with the Cybersecurity Awareness Program.
This program is part of what we call the Biennial Participation Program. That means every 2 years we organize ourselves and talk to our partners and tell them UNESCO is calling for projects. You know, if you have a proposal, send it to us and we send to UNESCO for possible funding. And that is how this program that we are on, this project, became part of the participation program for 2020-2021.
Khadija Tusi from the Office of the National Security lamented on the effects of cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying, like we normally joke with the internet, but it is not a joking area. Cyberbullying is very, very detrimental, and he'd have said that it even causes sometimes suicidal activities and so on. Because once you have something online, it is there forever. Nothing can delete it. Once you put your picture online, even in 100 years to come, people can still retrieve it and do whatever they want with it. So it is very, very dangerous. And then coming back to the question, Madiba, that is the security sector. The security sector is broad. I was happy when Mr. Jaju came in. He asked people what is security. And then the answer I had was very, very impressive. It is actually the state of being free from danger, anxiety, fear, or whatsoever that is going to threaten your life.
Cherno Emba from the Gambia Police Force echoed that students should be very careful whenever they're using social media platforms. The head girl of Gambia Senior Secondary School, Jaina Bajalo, emphasized the need for students to positively learn social media usage from their peers.
I have learned so many things about this cyber, things that I was not aware about, because using this internet and the phones are affecting many of our youths now, especially on WhatsApp and then the Facebook. I will try my best to teach them what I have learned about this cyber so that we will protect ourselves from these dangers and cyber crimes.
Jan Jane for GRTS News.
We now head to Lower River region where Child Fund the Gambia, with funding from UNICEF, recently launched a 6-month parenting practice for early childhood development project. The plan is aimed at improving knowledge, attitudes and practices on parents on early childhood development. Let's take a listen for more on that.
We will be training different stakeholders, of course, and for today we are launching it. We are starting with the training of the mentors. Mentors, if you like, you call them the supervisors. And come tomorrow, we will be inviting facilitators, and facilitators are going to be the ones who are going to lead monthly parenting sessions. In this particular project, we will have parents or couples, because we are going to improve, we want to improve male participation in caregiving. And when we have couples, that means male and a female for a particular child, we will take them through some basic concepts and the knowledge on the nurturing care framework, with the ultimate goal that we want them to have improved knowledge, attitudes, and the practices on the nurturing care framework to protect a child and also develop a child, preparing the child for future stages in the development. Hence, in the 6 months, we will be having monthly parenting sessions whereby a particular theme will be discussed for all the parents to understand. In case there is a particular parent or couple who miss to understand, we cater and we accommodate for home visits so that the facilitator will visit these couples at home and discuss about them, show them some practicals on how to do it. Excitingly, during this project also, we are going to make a lot of things that children really need. For example, this project caters for home making toys for children using locally available materials. Now, if you finish the project and parents understand the rights of children and also the developmental needs of children, parents always opt for their children to start education early, and hence they send them to school-based ECD. In the school-based ECD, one of the critical things that is important when children start center-based ECD, it is the availability of a playground, because we all believe that at that age, children will learn through play. So through this project also, we'll be constructing 9 outdoor playgrounds in the communities where we are going to do these parenting sessions, so that children in those communities will have a holistic opportunity to develop through all the necessary stages and the nurturing framework of early childhood development. Project, we will be training different stakeholders, of course, and for
GRTS News with me, Winifred Nicole. We will take a quick break and return with sports. Do stay.
How come you are constantly on your phone texting? You must have lots of credit.
Credit. All I need is $5. With the AfriCell SMS Express service, you can send 250 SMSs for $5 only. All you need to do is send SUB to 7050 for $5 only, and you can benefit from 250 SMSs valid for 7 days and enjoy texting.
Where AfriCell goes, nobody dares to follow.
Double the data, double the fun. Only on AfriMoney.
Buzz Bundle. To enjoy the Buzz Bundle on AfriMoney, dial *777# and double your data for as low as $10 and get 80 megabytes. And also, receive 3 gigabytes of data for only $150. There's more. Just dial *777# to find out.
All bundles are valid for 7 days. To cash in, visit our nearest AfriMoney agent.
AfriMoney. Send money anywhere, anytime.
Welcome back, and now a bit of sports for you. The Scorpions of the Gambia have begun their 2023 AFCON qualifiers with a win. The Scorpions beat South Sudan 1-0 in the opening game of the qualifying rounds played at Stade Lat Dior in Thiès, Senegal. Abdoulaye Diallo's first strike was the difference as Tom Stenfen's side secured all 3 points in their bid for a second consecutive AFCON appearance. Our sports editor MS Jallo watched the game, which was attended by the sports ministers of the Gambia and Senegal, and this is his report.
After impressing in their debut AFCON appearance in Cameroon earlier this year, the Gambia Scorpions have now set their sight on qualifying for the next edition in Cote d'Ivoire. The 2021 AFCON quarterfinalists got their 2023 AFCON qualifiers to a promising start with a narrow 1-0 win against the Bright Stars of South Sudan. Abdoulaye Diallo's goal on the stroke of halftime was enough to secure Tom Sanfet's side the 3 points in a tight contest at Stade Lat Dior in the Senegalese city of Thiès. With the Gambia's only national stadium banned from hosting international games for failing to meet CAF standards, the Scorpions were forced to play their opening match away in Senegal, and hundreds of Gambian fans made the long drive from Banjul to Thiès to drum support for the Scorpions in their quest for a second consecutive turn to the continent's flagship football event. The Gambia should have had a penalty in the opening minutes of the game when striker Hassan Cisse was wrestled down in the box, but the central referee had none of it, despite appeals from the Gambian players. Musa Baro, who was lively throughout the game, had a couple of decent efforts on target. The Sudanese defense was finally breached when Abdoulaye Diallo put the Gambia in front a few minutes to the end of the first half. Musa Baro was again involved as he assisted Abdoulaye with a sublime defense-splitting pass, and the diminutive midfielder teed up the ball past the rosy South Sudanese goalkeeper before running to celebrate in front of the home fans. The goal turned tensions into triumph as it made the difference between the two sides. South Sudan gave the Gambia some scary moments in the second period as the visitors looked very composed and comfortably knocking the ball around. At the other end, however, both Hassan Cisse and substitute Abdoulaye Sanyang came close to extending the Gambia's lead, but were wasteful in front of goal. Despite the Bright Stars of South Sudan signing in the second period, the Scorpions ensured that Abdoulaye Diallo's venomous sting at the end of the first period was enough to secure Tom Sanfe's side all 3 points and a joyous moment for the traveling Gambian fans.
We won 1-0 against South Sudan. We knew that our start would be very important to take 3 points, but we also knew it won't be easy. It was not so easy. South Sudan was running a lot, but I'm proud of my team that they took the 3 points.
We must take game by game. I say yesterday that my favorite was Mali and Gambia. It didn't change nothing. That's why, 1-0 is also a result that when we will play the second game at home, I don't know, maybe we can put them in trouble.
The game was attended by the Gambia Sports Minister Bakary Badji and his counterpart from Senegal, Matar Ba, who came to support the Scorpions.
This is a needed win. It's a first game in the qualifiers, and there is nothing more important than securing the 3 points. We just want to congratulate the players and everybody, including the Gambians. Now the financing is, like I said, the usual things: the accommodation, the travel arrangements, the hotel, the feeding, the camping allowances, and the match bonuses. That's what government's responsibility is, and we've done it as expected.
Playing the game in a foreign land comes with huge challenges, but the GFF Events Management Committee, under the leadership of Willie Abraham, ensured the game was well organized to meet the CAF requirements.
First of all, I would like to thank the whole Gambia for coming to Thiès to follow the national team and to come and give their support as usual. It was a big challenge for everybody. The fans really struggled to come to Thiès to watch the game, so they deserve a big thank you. Apart from that, it was also a big challenge organizing a home game out of Gambia. But thank the Almighty, He gave us the courage, He gave us the strength, and we did a fantastic job. Everybody went into the stadium in peace and left in peace.
It was a promising start to the qualifiers for the Scorpions, but the performance against the Bright Stars of South Sudan wasn't quite convincing, and Tom Sanfet with his charges need to improve as tougher opponents lie ahead in the qualifying rounds. The Gambian team had since left Senegal in the early hours of Sunday morning for Brazzaville to face Congo in the second game of the qualifiers. Congo lost their opening game 4-0 against Mali in Group G of the qualifying rounds for the 2023 Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire.
And Tom Seinfeld and his charges will be hoping to make it 2 wins in a row in their quest to make a second appearance at the Continent Showpiece football event in Ivory Coast 2023. Mohamed Escalo, Jata Sports.
Meanwhile, the Scorpions captain Omar Colley has said that he and his teammates are determined to qualify for the next Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire. The Sampdoria defender was speaking to reporters after his side's 1-0 win against South Sudan in the opening rounds of the qualifiers. Let's take a listen for more on that.
We are a little bit pressured, of course, because we did very good in the last AFCON. So obviously, we players, we want to go to the next one and even make more history for the Gambia, obviously. So because pressure is part of football, you know. But at the same time, we know ourselves. We know what we can do, and we still know that we are Gambia. We are still a small country, even though we are bigger than South Sudan. But we still we have respect for them. And Mali is, you know, I don't know, 60 or 70 in the world, and you know, you see Congo Brazzaville. Still Gambia, we are 123 in the ranking, but you know, we're gonna do our best and try to qualify to the next AFCON, because we did very well in the last one. So obviously, we want to go for the next one as well. So this is the goal of the team. You know, even though pressure is part of football, but this is our goal.
Well, congratulations to our darling Scorpions, and wish them the very best of luck in their match against Congo Brazzaville tomorrow. Well, that's it for now, but a quick look at our top stories once again. His Excellency President Adama Barrow received in audience the First Lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Her Excellency Fatima Jabi Bio, at the State House in Banjul. The Vice President Aliou Badara Diouf presided over the annual briefing session by the Finance and Public Accounts Committee of the National Assembly. The World Bank Group has launched the 2020 Economic Update for the Gambia, highlighting economic and development challenges facing the country. In sports, the Scorpions of the Gambia began their 2023 AFCON qualifiers with a win. Elsewhere, Nigerian officials say they have been searching for gunmen who attacked a church in southwest Nigeria. Well, viewers, that was all we had time for in this edition of the news at 2000 hours. But do join me at 2200 hours for more news. Until then, do stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs.
GRTS Radio, previously called Radio Gambia, is 60 years old this month. To mark this important milestone, the GRTS management will be organizing a series of activities. The highlight of the celebration will be a cultural evening at the Mile 7 complex, the home of Radio Gambia. The event will include performances